G'day, this is Captain Noob and this is the SA80. This is a British rifle used by the British forces, and buggered if I know how it got into the Commonwealth. Although I'm pretty sure this is an L85 of some description. I'll just go with SA80 because that's what it says on the box. For the receivers here we get the semi-auto receiver and the automatic receiver with a powerful and calibrated version of each. We'll go for the powerful automatic. And for some reason that gives us 0 range, which is troubling because we'll see the damage drop off immediately out of the barrel, so I don't know. And we've lost the mag too. We'll try to fix that. So here's the actual sort of receiver of it, I suppose. So you've got the L85A2 stock grip, but the SA80 with a tactical rail there, the mag's back. So that's weird. You can also grab a foregrip on there, but according to the stats that doesn't do anything, so I believe it's all cosmetic, and your player doesn't actually grab onto the thing when you the Soul Survivor doesn't grab onto the foregrip while it's there, so it's not much point in there having that there. Next up is the suppressor. We'll attach that on because there's no other muzzle attachments, and there's 2 different magazines here. Each have 30 rounds. One of them is slightly less weighty than the other. We've got the lighter one in, so there's no reason of us to change that. Now the iron sight to there, we can change that to a little bit of a scope, which will give us better accuracy, and I think we'll do that, even though I want to show off the iron sights too. But what that does, it actually gives us a range, so I think we're mad not to do anything but put the SUSAT there. And of course we've got a legendary effect here if we need to have this thing do more damage, which we might, but we'll see. So let's get into it. So, with this weapon being of British design, why don't I use this time to just thank the people that hail over in the British Isles that watch my videos. They're about 25% of them, I believe, so trailing down from America, they're doing alright. So I am thankful for anyone who watches my videos from that area, and wow, there's a lot of screen check going, it's hard to hit these guys. Anyway, so talking about the animations of this gun, obviously these animations are from, well, not quite obviously, but I did this weapon very deliberately a long time, or just after I did the Russian Recon Pack, which included that sweet DMR thing. So this thing actually uses the same animations from that. You can go ahead and watch that video back if you want to go and check that out, but you can take my word from it, you'll probably save time. Now the only problem with that is the DMR is supposed to have lots of recoil per shot, and if you put that on an automatic platform you get a lot of sights rattling around when you shoot, so it's kind of hard to hit people unless you're really close to them. Fortunately, you can go ahead and switch to third person, and it's a lot easier to aim. Just like the Russian Recon Pack, there this thing has custom sounds too, and animations for the reloading in third person. Let's just take a look at that. Very good animations. So yeah, I believe I saw a video about this particular, or not this particular weapon, but about the L85A1 being one of the most horrible service rifles in history, just because of how just unreliable it was, and it already gained this reputation of being terrible, and it's something that the A2, which was brought out later, can't even escape from because of how stigmatized it was. So it's not a very well appreciated rifle, this one, but yeah, it's actually very heavy, I've heard too, so soldiers having to carry this around is probably not the best for them. You'd want something more light and modular, like the M4s that I see the Americans use. I think they're the best ones. In Australia we use the Oz Styres, which are basically AUGs but a little bit different, and they're alright, but I'd prefer if we used AR-15 type weapons. I believe that they're the best, but what would I know? I've never even shot a gun before. We've got yeah, people aren't allowed to run around here with guns as much, or any automatic weapons like they are in some countries. But on the flip side of that, I don't get shot up in schools, so I think I'm fine with this fact. Now, on this very political episode of Captain Noob here, I think I might just shut up and talk about why I think this weapon is actually really good. While the customizations are a little bit limited, and I had actually a little bit of trouble making the animations for the magazine work, the models and textures of this weapon are actually really solid. The modder has taken their time in to create something really good out of this, and I actually really like using this weapon. Despite its recoil looking like it's going to dislocate poor Matilda's shoulder over here, I think she's fine. You want to jam a stim pack into your shoulder? No, we'll just go ahead and move on, I think. Righto, so there's Swan over there. We've got this thing fitted now with the iron sights and also the polymer mag. And that'll just look a little bit different in the reload. But here we go, let's try to take out Swan there. And if you noticed how seizure-inducing shooting through the iron sights there, this thing is just a little bit strange to use. I think if the modder was to come in and just reduce like the recoil per shot animation, this thing would absolutely work fine. And hang on, looks like we've got a bunch of super mutant cronies here. Okay, that'll get us detected really quickly. That's a shame. Alright, looks like we've got a bunch of super mutant warlords to tango with, so this is a good chance to show off this weapon against them too. So he's there, you get a heap of shots and VATs, and remember that these guys sometimes have in excess of 1,000 hit points, so they're big friggin' tanky dudes. So, oh, it's not working indeed. Yeah, so those guys are actually quite tanky, so it's, yeah, they're a little bit of the cheaper side, but god damn it. I keep losing my train of thought because I'm reading the subtitles down below. But let's get rid of the suicider here. Okay, he goes down. And just an overlord there. You don't worry me half as much. You're not as tanky as your warlord mate. But if I have to pop a quick reload here. Okay, we got you killed. And we'll quickly run through here.
I kill any I run across.
Yes, we've seen this before. Anyway, we'll try to fade out of danger from here. And then we'll hit him back whilst we're in caution or hidden, and that way we can get sneak attack crits on him, and that'll be good since we've got a suppressed weapon. Getting those sneak attack crits on him, we'll just fire in short bursts here because the recoil on this weapon, I think,
we're not finished yet.
Feels like it's a little bit more realistic. Your weapon sort of bounces around more than any other weapons would in the game, like your standard combat rifles or assault rifles. But I guess the assault rifles recoil is obviously sort of counterbalanced by its heavy weight, and usually heavy weapons don't have a lot of recoil.
That works for me.
So he'll go down nice and quickly here, but that just the iron sight animation when you're firing, it's just almost seizure inducing. It's sort of all in your face and then it goes away, and then
looks to be deceiving.
It's strange. It's very flashy on the screen, and it could use work, but I'm not going to harp on it too much other than that. This thing is doing still great damage even though its range is at 0. I wonder if that's just an error or just the modder needs to just give the weapon some base range to make sure it isn't going to do that, but we seem to have no trouble taking out Swan there, even though we have no range, and she doesn't care about a giant super mutant dying. But if we quickly go into third person here, she'll probably look at it with a surprised look on her face. Yeah, you killed that thing, you keep that in mind. Alright, we'll move on to another monster and we'll put the scope back on it. Right, the next target to go down is the Wendigo, and we'll see what this thing can do in VATS whilst using the scope. So we're getting decent accuracy, nothing too serious, but we get a considerably amount of less shots in this thing whilst using a scope in VATS. So if you want to keep this thing more optimized for VATS, go ahead and leave the iron sights on. We'll just go ahead and crit every shot just so it does a little bit more damage and is a guaranteed hit. We probably shouldn't do all that much damage, shouldn't do all that much damage more with the crits, but it still does a good job with that guaranteed hits. Now I'm a little bit worried now because he's getting really close to me, and if he gets too close, we're in a lot of trouble, so we'll just try to kill him.
We're not finished yet.
Haven't been detected by it yet, but it's bloody hard to keep on track of him when he's like that. Nice little stagger on him there. We'll fall back and reload at that point, and I don't think he's going to detect us at all. Nope. We managed to nail him with a bit of sneak attack crits there, and yep, that'll be it for the ghoul. I'll leave those blokes alone for now. But there you have it. Another sneak attack kills on these ghouls, and basically any weapon with a suppressor. You want to be playing it that way because it just makes the damage potential so high indeed. We'll go ahead and move on to one last monster. Okay, so the last monster is from the depths on this dark and foggy night, and it's in the form of a giant Mirelurk lobster dude over there. So instead of shooting him in first person, we're going to go in third because the sights will bounce all around and it'll make it extremely hard to hit him. So instead we'll go ahead and take him out this way. So doing this, we'll be able to get a few good hits on him, and depending on how long we can just crit him in the face for, we should be in right to kill him just with the rest of these bullets. Awesome. I've got a bunch of more crits ready to go. I just need to make sure he doesn't get close enough to see me, but I've got a backup plan if he does, because this guy is a lot faster than I am, so it is time for me to make my great escape over here. And let's see, still in danger. He's stuck behind that. That was not actually my master plan, but it looks like bad AI is making me succeed here, so I will not complain. I'll just go ahead and take a little dip in the water here. So in I go. And now that I'm swimming around, I should be undetectable underwater, so that's nice. And then we'll re-emerge someplace else where he cannot see us, and we'll get some more sneak attack crits on him. Up we are. Okay. Fading out of caution. Switch to third person game. There we go. First person. No, not first person. Third person. And yep. We'll just keep on killing him. He'll come up close and not take sneak attack criticals, even though we're blatantly in caution, but whatever. Now that spit on him is mean, so it's really important for us just to make sure that we keep our range advantage as we cross this ocean here. So that's him all the way over there, and we'll go ahead and reload our weapon before taking him on. Now there he is underwater there. It's going to be extremely hard to hit him without the use of VATS, and with VATS it will be too because the numbers are that low. So that's him surfacing over there, back into hidden, but we'll make sure he regrets surfacing over there. That'll lure him towards me, and you know what? You get a crit in the face. Oh boy, everything's going glitchy over here, so just need to kill you some more, get some more staggering on him, quickly reload. The reload is very slow indeed. But there we go, we got a little bit of nerd rage luck there, and we're able to take him out like that. So, in terms of just how this weapon is, it's a pretty balanced weapon. It's got a super low reload speed on it, just a bad reload speed on it, which will make you get killed when you go ahead and mag dump and not have enough bullets. But if you like to see this weapon in your game, and if you're British, then maybe you might. You get to see the weapon used by your guys in the front lines, and yeah. Special shout out to Ranger Bravo over on the Fallout Amino. I know you're British because I've heard your voice, so how's it going over there? In Australia it's fucking hot, and I've got sunburnt face, and everything is bad. Thank you for watching, guys.